welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who feels like there just isn't enough fire in the movie Firestorm, but feels that there's too much rain in the movie Hard Rain. It's David Cross.
Hey, what's going on?
So, you and I were talking, and you just floored me with that fact when you told it to me. I mean, what makes you think that there's just not enough fire in the movie Firestorm and too much rain in Hard Rain?
Well, the thing is, I find fire more terrifying than rain. So if there's too much fire, I get scared. I'm not really scared of water because I'm a good swimmer.
Yeah. So Waterworld wasn't terrifying for you.
Oh no, that movie, I watched that movie. It was great. It was absolutely great. And I don't care what anyone else says about that film.
So if it's called Fireworld, you're closing your eyes the whole time.
Yeah, I'm really scared of Fireworld, and I'm also scared of Ice World. It's like whenever I play Ice World in a video game, I just I need to turn it off because I'm not automatically terrible at it. So I can imagine if I was actually in an Ice World, I wouldn't get very far either.
Yeah, you just be sliding a lot, dealing with penguins.
Can't ice skate.
I would break my ankle. I mean, Fireworld, you're done immediately, right? But in Ice World, yeah. It's just a slow progression towards being another piece of ice on that world.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
And, you'd have to deal with Hopwampas on Ice World. Attacking you. I can't see a fire creature. Could you?
There's fire elementals.
So do elementals need to eat?
That's a really good question. I always thought they were sort of like vampires, like fed off of emotion or energy, but didn't need to actually consume. But if you're a fire creature, like literally made of fire, wouldn't you always be having to consume some type of combustible material?
Yeah, because you'd have to, always keep burning, right?
Yeah. The alternative is that your emotions and your feelings then catch fire, and that's really weird.
Yeah, you're hot-tempered.
Literally, you literally have to be hot-tempered.
So you're on this fire planet, and nothing else is alive except for other fire elementals. You can't farm. What do you eat? The fire? But you can't eat fire.
Yeah. It has to be a thing where the fire, it's living fire, and it just constantly renews itself.
You know what's crazy? When we watched David Fincher's Fireworld, I never thought about this. Did you?
No, not at all.
That guy, I had some issues with the pacing of the movie. But I never once thought, how does this fire elemental eat?
I think that a lot about a lot of movies.
I think Rooney Mara should have been nominated for an Oscar as that fire elemental. I don't know why I've been thinking about that movie Firestorm lately with Howie Long. He's a firefighter, and gets stuck in a fire. And it opened in the same weekend as Titanic and just sort of disappeared from the world.
You can't really compete against Titanic. Like, no film can compete against Titanic.
Imagine that, right? Well, the new Hellboy, speaking of fire movies, the new Hellboy is sandwiched between Shazam and Avengers.
Oh, God. I know they're like, we're going to ride this wave, right? They're like, just 3 weeks of superhero stuff and we'll slide in. No. I bet the second week of Avengers, it's still going to beat out Hellboy.
And I think Shazam's going to have legs because of all the pops. I think it's going to be a family-friendly movie. So a lot of people are going to watch it the first weekend and then be like, yeah, even if you're not into comic book movies, it's fun. Take your kids. And then they'll go take them to it. And then Hellboy just gets smushed. Because Hellboy's rated R, too.
It's rated R? That makes me more excited for it.
Yeah, I guess just more F-bombs.
Yeah, I guess it's not going to be that much more bloody.
I just feel bad. Now that, Del Toro was always like, they open at this. They didn't give me enough for that. I didn't get time, so they kind of failed. And then this one's like, yeah, we got sandwiched between two blockbusters.
That's a really rough spot.
That's what happened to Fincher with his Fireworld. It got sandwiched in between Avengers and, I don't know, Man of Steel.
Is that no, that's not the only DC movie that actually got, that was pure vision. I guess you can count Wonder Woman and Aquaman. But for a long time, that was the only good DC movie.
It made me want to go crab fishing, and I'm allergic to crab, that Man of Steel. It made me want to go buy a sweater, grow a beard, and just look depressed. It was the best depressed looking on a boat since Brad Pitt in Legends of the Fall.
Oh my God. I was talking to someone about that movie the other day, and I was like, it's great, but there's not much of a point.
Nope. Yeah, I did that article about Brad Pitt eating, and I went through every single Brad Pitt movie. I kind of fast forwarded to go to like the eating bits, but like there's a lot of Brad Pitt in that movie just looking sullen.
Yeah, yeah, but also some like very terrifying imagery of him coming back with all the a spoiler, like a necklace of ears.
Yeah, that was good. Imagine him, they stole from Universal Soldier, by the way. Imagine Brad Pitt from Legends of the Fall and Kit Harington from Game of Thrones in a movie together. The sad twins.
Oh my God. Would you want to go see that?
No, it would just be them. It would be a Gus Van Sant movie where they're just kind of lurking around their house looking depressed.
There's monsters outside again. Leave them alone.
And they're just sitting there. Moping, they eat an entire bag of chips. Which fits, because Brad Pitt eats.
Oh.
We've come up with some good fake movies so far. We got some good bits going.
Yeah, we have to write these down so we don't forget them, so we can pitch them to people later.
And we definitely get associate producer credits.
Yeah, exactly.
On them. Now, also, I want to bring up something else. So, we talked about, you joined us on the 13 Ghosts podcast, and that was a blast. But in that movie, Tony Shalhoub and F. Murray Abraham had a fist fight. And you pitched Willow to me, or I pitched, I don't remember, it was a long time ago when we decided on this. But in this one, you have Bath Morda and Finn Rizal, played by Gene Marsh and Patricia Hayes, fist fighting. So you've picked 2 movies in a row where people over the age of 50 just throw haymakers at each other.
That's very true. And I didn't remember that until I watched Willow. But I can tell you right now, definitively, the fight scene at the end of this movie is one of the best fight scenes, period. It is so good.
It's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. I know they don't show this, but Finn Rizal gets her face scratched. And when she comes back up, there's like blood dripping off her face. I'm like, this is a PG-13 movie. Like, what is happening here?
And I love when when Finn Rizal punched Bath Morda in the face 3 times. It goes poof, 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 like the punch sound effects, just right in her face. And I'm like, and then they topple over a stone structure. And I was up cheering.
Yeah, I was too. It's a brutal fight. And think about when the time it came out too. These are 2 mature women who are the most powerful characters in the film, just wailing on each other. Like, you don't see that very often.
I mean, this movie. All right, think about it. So we have Warwick Davis in the lead, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have the leader of her army is Saoirse, who's a badass.
Sort of. Her Kale. It's unclear.
Oh yeah. But she's like, she has awesome armor in this, Saoirse. She's just, those arrows on her are really cool. And then you have Finn Rizal. Like, this movie is sort of ahead of its time. You have powerful female wizards punching each other. You have Warwick Davis in the lead. And then it's this movie that you don't see much. It's really kind of cool. And it's not played for laughs. It's not played, there's like, you know what I mean? It's just a straightforward fantasy that's fun.
Yeah. Like, Finn Rizal is a character when she shows up on the screen, takes up space, and everyone's like, oh, we gotta listen to her because she knows what she's doing and she's gonna wreck some people.
Yeah, that was great. And you know what, though? So when this movie starts, Willow, you find out that Bath Morda, the queen, there's a baby that's gonna overthrow her, and she's kidnapped every pregnant woman. They have a baby. I guess if the baby doesn't have a mark, they give it back to the mom, and the mom can go, right?
That's what I interpreted, yes. Okay.
So in the beginning, they find the baby with the mark, and the handmaiden runs away with it. And the woman's all like, hey, you're never gonna get the baby, na 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 na. And then this made me really mad when Bath Morda looks at one of her guards and just goes, kill her. And I'm like, oh, well, she's that kind of leader. It would have been better if she just, like, you know, took a wand and turned her into a blob. You know, like, instead of kill her.
You gotta set an example, right?
Yeah. Ned Stark. She should learn from Ned Stark.
So I'm really, really happy that you brought up the nursemaid, because I have a question for you about this nursemaid. Mm-hmm. Literally, they realize that she has stolen the baby like a minute after she does it. How does she get out of the castle so fast? Like, she like the whole castle is on alert for this woman, and she immediately just walks out the door, has no problem, and starts her hike.
So I think if she's been doing this for years, right? Mm-hmm. So she probably every single castle in every movie has a secret entrance, you know, like a secret exit or entrance that, you know, they win the battle. Like there's always a thing where they siege a castle, they lose the siege, and then someone's like, hey, here's a back door. And then everyone runs in the back door and they take over the castle. She just snuck out there.
That's a really good point. Yeah, yeah. But it also led me to think about the geography of this movie, which
Yeah.
is insane. Like, I don't know if anything takes place in like a 20 mile diameter or hundreds of miles. It could be either. You have no clue.
Yeah, because you're right, because they say that Willow and his village, which is really lived in, by the way, I have to say, very lived in village. How long do they hike to get to the crossroads?
They can't hike that far. It could have to probably been like a couple of days or a week at the most.
Yeah, and so that's not that far from human civilization. So they must be known about, but they have mines. We're gonna throw you in the mines. So that seems like a place where Bath Morda would be like, hey, I got mines there. We can make money.
Yeah. But what type of mines? That's really important. Like, it could be salt mines, it could be copper mines, it could just be rock mines. I don't know.
Yeah, just rock mine.
That's the worst mine.
What do you guys dig out of there? Rocks, you know?
What do you do with the rocks?
We build our houses. Rocks for sale. Like there's like 8 rock salesmen.
Oh, that's why they're not living lush, right?
Yeah, and there's people eyeballing the rocks. Like they're just kind of like, I'll give you 3 for it. No, the price says 5. Yeah, but there's this indent here. 4. And then like they're haggling for a rock. I tell you what though, if someone ever attacks, they're gonna throw a lot of them at them.
Slings.
Yep. And there is a scene in this movie with a great throw. Oh no, wait, that is Eric who throws a knife. Eric throws a knife and nails a dude. Great. Does Willow throw anything in this movie?
He throws acorns.
Oh, yeah. All right. So maybe he got so good with those acorns because of all his rock throwing.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, he throws 1 acorn. He drops 1 acorn, and 1 acorn is just never seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, because the deleted scene.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting. So I wish during their festival, right, in the background there would have been rock throwing.
That would have been funny. Show them working. In terms of that festival, I want to know something that was going on. It was a scene that was shown really, really quickly. There's people with bags over their heads dancing with each other.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I tried to look up what type of dance that was and could not figure it out. I was like, this has to be related to some actual like winter or spring festival dance. But no, it's just women with bags over their heads dancing with guys. And that terrifies me. I would never want to do that.
I do like that they added that, though, because that added a wrinkle to the world. Like, so that's just it seemed lived. Does that make sense? Like, it seemed lived in with that.
Yeah, this entire movie feels lived in.
And I want to ask you another question. Are these people, right? So that guy, what's the guy who keeps getting pooped on? Burglecut.
Oh, Burglecut.
He's barfed on, pooped on. He's like, he sounds like kind of the land baron, I guess, out there, correct?
Yeah, he sells seeds. I think he's just a generic merchant, a seed merchant.
And then so he's wondering in the beginning, how Willow got his seeds, and then you find out that Willow and his really nice family. I love the relationship he had with his wife. Find out that they've been foraging them in the forest. That's smart. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just a jerk, right?
Yeah, he's an absolute jerk. Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah.
Burglecut. So but I just like how there's lands, and then they're going to throw people in mines. And also there's a pit. The villagers want to throw Willow into the pit.
I didn't catch that.
No, so in the movie, they just start chanting, throw him in the pit. Throw him in the pit. And I'm like, these guys are bloodthirsty. Like, exactly. It's right here. In the pit. In the pit. Like, they just over and over and over, they want to throw Willow in the pit for grabbing. Well, I guess we should say that the child floats. So the lady puts the thing in the river, in a creek, and then it flows, and then Willow and his family get it. But they want to throw him in the pit. What's the pit?
They're superstitious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a tough crowd. Do they not like Willow?
I don't know. And the question is, should we like Willow at the beginning of this movie?
Should we like him?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the movie, he's like, oh, there's a baby. Nah, just push it down the river. Screw it. Someone else will deal with it.
Yep.
That's the worst part of the film.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, we'll just see what happens. It'll be fine.
And you can clearly tell that baby's like 3 months. Not even 3 months. It's not even a week probably. It's probably like 2 weeks old.
Yep. And he just wants to push it down a river.
Yeah. No, we'll get rid of it. Don't worry about it. Someone else find this baby.
They seem very secluded though. So maybe they just like remember the hobbits. They don't want trouble. So then he doesn't want because remember like because they say this movie steals from Tolkien, but maybe he just doesn't want trouble. Like even if there's a baby, people are gonna come looking.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah.
And plus, he doesn't want to get thrown in the pit. What good is he to his family if he's in the pit? Where is this pit?
It's in the mines. It has to be near the mines.
A pit inside a mine? That's the most terrifying thing ever. It would be a rock pit.
Yeah. Keep digging rocks.
Wait, where's the pit? It's in the mine. What, is the pit dug? No, you have to dig the pit.
Oh, no. The worst punishment. I have another point. I want to see what you think about this.
Yeah.
His name's Willow of Good.
Yeah.
And I laughed out loud when I heard that because I felt like George Lucas was like, this is a brilliant name. And I was like, I don't know. That seems a little on the nose for me.
Yeah, Willow. You know what? I never thought about that. And I never thought about the Vader thing until Pitch Perfect when Anna Kendrick wrecked it for me. When she said Vader means father.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
What? But you know what's? I never noticed that. I always just thought Willow of Good. Of Good. Wow.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of saying Willow protagonist.
Willow protagonist.
And I was thinking about like what's Bav Morta's last name? So like it clearly has to be of bad.
Yeah, of
like
bad.
There's no reason it's not that.
Bav Morta of bad. Or just evil.
Of evil, Bav Morta of evil.
Wait, Bav Morta DeVille.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It also made me think to be like, what if it was just like Bav Morta of ambivalent? like because like. There's that quote like the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference.
Yep.
So it's like back more to of indifference.
She's just like she just doesn't care. Like of good. I never noticed that. That's like you and dropping your Latin thing from the 13 Ghosts. You're blowing my mind here.
Oh, I have another question.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
All right, this is jumping around.
Yeah, it's fine. Because whoever is listening to this has watched Willow.
Yeah. So I don't know the answer to this, and maybe we should look it up when we're right now. But she, at the end, Bav Morta is going to disappear the child to the 13th dimension. But here's the thing. How does she know it's the 13th dimension? Right? Like to other people in other dimensions, it could be like the 4th dimension or 5th dimension because you always start with your dimension.
Yeah.
So she has no clue what's there. And I also want to know, and I don't actually know this answer, why 13? Why is 13 unlucky? Is it related to something to do with Christianity and like 13 apostles? I have no idea. But I always thought it'd be funny if someone was just like, and we're going to send him to the 3rd dimension. Like, whatever. Like, it's just a different dimension.
It could be the fire world.
Could be fire world.
Wait, so she wants to send the baby to the 13th dimension?
Yes.
Okay. Why doesn't she just kill it?
I don't know. That's a great point. You could just kill it.
I guess baby killing in a movie. That's ritualized baby killing.
Especially in a PG-13 movie?
Yeah. So I guess if you send it to another dimension, you're not technically killing it, right?
Yeah, I guess so, depending on what that dimension is. But then it could be a really easy rewrite. Like, I want to use her as a battery to charge my own magic. And like, there you go. We don't have to worry about like why you don't kill her then.
Well, she's the only thing that can defeat me, so I'm going to imprison her.
Yeah. So, and they're not very clear either if the baby is a sorceress or whatever. It's just like she can do it. We have no idea.
I love this conversation though. Like, so I'm from the 1st dimension and I'm in the 13th. Well, no, we're the 1st dimension.
Yeah, exactly.
So am I in the 3rd? I think you're in the 6th. So I got to get back home. How are we going to do this? No one wants to be. Everyone wants to be the 1st dimension. No, we're the 1st. No, wait, but we're the 1st.
Well, because I was thinking about it like you usually you wouldn't number dimensions. You would give them a name of a location. Yeah. And then you would just be like, I'm going to, I don't know, whatever. I'm trying to think of a Norse dimension, but I can't think of what's top of my head. But that you don't give them a number because like numbers start with you. Like they don't start with other people.
And Fringe, right? Remember Fringe? What was the name of their dimensions?
Oh, I only watched the first episode. I don't remember what happened there.
Oh, so you're on the fringes of that show.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love a good pun. I don't care.
I mean, the thing with Marvel does it with numbers, unfortunately, I guess. They're like Earth 616 and whatever.
Quantum Realm.
Well,
All right, we'll save that for another how to name dimensions. I guess that's it. There's no answer to that.
No, it's always starts with what you have, and then you name it.
I bet
you don't have to agree. Like, you have to have multiple dimensions together to agree on the names of that collective dimensions.
I bet when Sisyphus was pushing up the rock up the hill, he was thinking about the dimension quandary for probably 10,000 years.
When he had nothing else better to do.
Yeah, exactly.
He's probably still thinking about it.
No, but like, all right. So I guess you listened to the commentary on this as well, right?
Yes.
One of the most mind-blowing things about this movie was Warwick Davis was 17 years old.
Yeah, I can't believe that. When I used to watch this, I always was like, I wonder how old this guy is. But like, even as a kid, he was only a couple years older than me, like 4 or 5 years older.
Yep. So he's 17 years old and he's headlining a movie. And it was pretty interesting what he said, because he was a goblin in Labyrinth. He was Wicket in Return of the Jedi, and I will defend the Ewoks till I die. And he had, so not only did he have to headline a movie, this was his first time where he didn't have a mask on.
Yeah.
And so he couldn't really exaggerate when he had remember when he said he had his mask on, he had to be really physical to showcase his emotions. With this one, he had to headline a movie and have nuance and have his face on the camera. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And let me tell you now, nailed it.
I've watched this movie, because we've had this pod planned for a while, right?
Yeah, we've had it planned for a while. And what I did was I asked my Facebook group, like, hey,
oh yeah,
what should we watch? And I swear, like, one person said Willow, and just everyone jumped on board. It was just like, Willow, yes. Willow, what about the baby? Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, people went crazy for Willow. But I just think it's, so, I'm 36, and I think people our age love this movie, right?
Yeah, I read a review of it, and I think it nailed it perfect. And it said that people who saw this when they were between 10 and 13, this was a defining moment in their cinema experience, and I completely agree. Like, we're here talking about it, and I'm extremely excited about it.
And when you're 10 to 13 years old and you watch this movie, so there is humor in this film. Ron Howard, the director, does add some humor. And the guy who wrote this is Bob Dolman, and he wrote for SCTV, the sketch show up in Canada for years. So he imbued that humor. But this movie, when you're watching it, so there are kids' movies, right, where they aren't that scary and you just kind of watch them and then you leave. But for me, there's movies like 101 Dalmatians with Cruella de Vil, Ernest Scared Stupid with Trantor the Troll, and then this movie that they're family friendly, but there's some scary stuff that when you see it between 10 or 13 or 9 and 11, you're going to remember, because there's some violent stuff in these films. So it's family friendly, but it burns in your memory because it's also a little ahead of its age bracket. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm a big proponent of watching movies or of movies having a little bit of a horror element to it. I think you nailed it on the head, because like, you're going to remember it. And also I think that kids are smarter than we think they are. So I really appreciate this movie. Like, even the Goonies or Monster Squad, like, they have horror and scary elements, and it's just part of a tapestry of emotions that's trying to get by. So it's like funny and adventurous. Like, it wouldn't be that great to have an adventure story if there was no horror element to it or scary element to it, because then it's not really a story, I guess. It's just walking from one place to another.
Now, when you were a kid, so I remember I had Willow toys, little like die-cast metal ones, but I remember, so you know how many movies we've watched and forgotten, right? But a decade after Willow, I just had certain memories burnt into my memory. I know this is weird, but in the castle when Val Kilmer steps onto the goblin poop, there was a lot of it. But the people who were frozen in those rocks, right? Mm-hmm. They were frozen in those things, and then the dragon, and then the goblin getting shocked and then becoming a two-headed dragon, and the scratches on Finn Rizzel's face. There were moments, and that, I tell you what, that Kale is really awesome. What great costumes. But this movie, even when I was in my 20s, I just had memories burnt into me from this film. And there's so many movies you just forget after watching. So, I guess I saw it at the perfect time.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of movies for me that are like that, but this is definitely up there in the top, probably top 3 or 4. It's like this, Jurassic Park are are like movies that I cannot get out of my brain, no matter how many times or no matter how many new movies I watch. These are always there.
I think Lucas and Spielberg are kind of masters of this, wouldn't you say? So, you know, Jurassic Park, you have that. I love that. What is it? The Dilophosaurus that spits in Jurassic Park and then you never see it again. Like, what a crazy scene. I love that. And then the whole Sam Jackson with the arm. I know the sets got destroyed, so they couldn't show his death. But in Star Wars, you have the cantina, and then you have Jabba's palace. So I think they're the kind of kings of making. And then in this movie, people frozen in rocks, and the acorns, and the trolls, and like the backstory, and the brownies can ride eagles. So there's enough in this movie to just sort of build a bigger movie beyond that, if that makes sense. So as you're a kid, your imagination runs wild.
Yeah. I didn't have any of the toys, but Val Kilmer playing with sword fighting inspired me to practice sword fighting at home. Like I had an orange sword that I would like swing around. It was this movie and then He-Man, the one with Dolph Lundgren.
That's awesome.
And I would just like talk my neighbors into sword fighting all the time.
The only time the only time we ever acted on something was Cool Runnings, and my buddy had this like wagon that was low to the ground, and we wanted to build like our own bobsled, but we lived in Florida and we had one hill in our neighborhood, and we wanted to use that as like a makeshift wheeled bobsled. So that's like the only time I remember acting on, like, not, you know, like sword fighting and stuff, but we wanted to bobsled because of Cool Runnings. It's pretty interesting. I don't know why I told you that story, but it's pretty cool. But all right, so oh man, there's so much to talk about in this movie. Did you have any more questions you want to get to?
I do.
All right.
Why do you think Mad Mardigan was in that crow's cage?
He's just a lech. You know, he's lecherous. He was probably in an army, or he was in a gang, I don't know, a mercenary crew, and he obviously probably slept with one of the guy's wives or girlfriends, and he got caught, and they threw him in there.
Yeah. And they don't explain it, but Eric calls him a thief later in the film. And I was like, is he a thief? Is that how he ended up in there? But that doesn't feel like him. You're right. I think he feels like more like he hooked up with someone.
He steals hearts.
Well, he stole my heart in this film, let's be honest.
Yeah, all right, so, yeah, I don't see him thieving, do you? He's not a thief.
No, I don't see him thieving either.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with him, though. He's objectively bad at a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like he loses the baby immediately.
We see him, he's in the crow's cage. He loses the baby. He gets captured by Sorsha. Did he get captured after that again?
Yeah, and we never see him get captured, and he just shows up shirtless, captured.
Yeah.
And then they go, yeah, we didn't need him to find Willow. And they're like, what?
Okay.
But then I think he's bad at everything but sword fighting. He's a guy who just needs, because once he gets the bows and arrows and once he gets his awesome gear on, he just destroys people. But then every other facet of his life he's bad at.
Yeah. And here's one of the things I love about that scene when he finally gets his armor and you're like, oh, so he's in Tears Lee is what the scene I'm talking about. Sorsa just watches that and she's just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hooking up with this dude. Like, you see how good he is? He's killing my whole army.
I wrote a note, and I think I threw it up I in caps on the top so I didn't forget it. She falls in love while watching him fight. She just stops.
Yeah.
And but he's destroying folks.
Yeah. My note for Sorsha is Sorsha equals babe to the 10th power.
Yeah. And you know that the two of them, Val Kilmer and let's see, I got her name here, Joanne Whaley, they got together.
They got married.
Yeah.
I think they had 2 kids.
And they came back for reshoots to make that one scene where he's like, you're my night and day. They redid that scene because they had that chemistry then.
Yeah, and you can tell too when you're watching it. Like you can tell that they are into each other.
It's weird. It's weird for me watching Val Kilmer in the 80s because he started off with Top Secret, which I love, Real Genius, and then he had Willow and Top Gun. And maybe he was just a pain. Like, so I heard on Batman Forever, he was kind of a pain on set. Maybe he was a pain dealing with on film sets. But he's a guy who, Tombstone, he could have been a superstar, but for some reason he just kind of, maybe he was a pain in the butt or too weird. Like, but the guy's got charisma.
I felt like he was a superstar and then just dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know what happened to him, but I'm ready for a Kilmer renaissance.
I mean, I'm down. I think he's getting healthier now, right? Because he had the health issues there for a while.
Mm-hmm, he did.
Oh, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, dude.
Yeah,
he crushed that movie. That's an underappreciated movie right there.
Well, I forget when I see him in like his younger self. I was like, oh, he's really funny. His timing's amazing.
Yeah, we got a Real Genius pod coming up too, so I've watched that movie. Dude crushes it, but he brings that in this and. Like the physicality, the final fight against Kale, which makes me feel like I gotta tell you, is there a better villain sword and sorcery costume than General Kale's, like, skull face?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Like that's an iconic, scary costume.
And when you watch that guy, I know it's stuntmen and everything, but when I don't know who's underneath that mask. When that dude hits somebody or kills somebody or fights, you believe it.
Yeah. Do you remember who they said that actor was? Like all the other movies he's been in?
Pat Roach? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Alfred, right?
That's Alfred? No,
that's not Alfred. He's
Pat Roach. He's the Nazi that Indiana Jones fights.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what it was. My bad.
Yeah, and I think he used to be a wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, he was a big dude.
Yeah, he's huge. He's very scary. When I was a little kid, I would get so sad when Eric died.
Oh, Eric! He was so cool.
Eric was my favorite when I was little.
Why did everyone love Eric? Why did everyone so my brother and I, when Eric died, we were both like heartbroken. I don't know why we were like, no, not Eric.
Yeah, because he always did the right thing, right? He was just like, I'm gonna do the right thing regardless of what the outcome's going to be.
What? I don't understand his sword, though. That seems like a very bad idea for a sword.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too, and you lose, like, wrist movement.
Yeah, and you can't use two hands.
Yeah.
It looks cool. I guess it looks cool.
I mean, that's what they're really worried about. Is it going to look cool? You're in all gold, and you have, like, this crazy long spear sword.
And I love that Val Kilmer put the sword on, and Kale just immediately broke it off.
Yeah, it's like he ran back to get his own sword.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Kale's like, get that out of my house. But I like that Mad Mardigan was like, I'm going to kill you, Kale, with Eric's sword.
And he does.
Now, I do have to say, there's a scene where Kale he hasn't gotten half of his skull broken, where he's just stabbed Eric in the gut, and Eric goes, like, spits in Kale's face, and Kale reels back and goes, ah! But he has a mask on. Like
that's ridiculous. I didn't catch that.
Oh yeah. Eric just and Kale just reacts like he just got hit by a brick thrown by Megatron, right in the face.
Maybe he didn't know it was coming. It was ad-libbed. That would have been amazing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be pretty amazing. So all right, wait. You know what would be cool if like he spit, but it like went through the little eye hole, and so he was all cocky, but then it hit him in the eye, and he's like, ugh. Because you can be like Michael Myers in Halloween. He gets caught off guard by Busta Rhymes using kicks. He didn't expect for someone to spit through his skull face.
That movie got caught off guard by Busta Rhymes doing kicks.
Yeah, Halloween Resurrection. So Michael Myers, right, during all of his fights, people just throw easily blockable haymakers. But in Halloween Resurrection, Busta Rhymes is the first person to use kicks. So Michael is thinking, he's just going to throw haymakers, but then he catches a spin kick to the face, right? He mixed it up. Yeah. He varied it. So I don't think anyone's ever spit in Kale's face.
And he gets crushed immediately after.
Yeah, Eric gets wiped out.
My weakness.
And also, when Eric does die, Mad Mardigan's on top of him, and he's like, do what you got to do. Then Eric, I don't know where it comes from. I feel like it was an outtake, and Ron Howard's like, I'm going to keep it in. But Eric goes, bleh! Like he kind of,
yeah.
So it's like this very well acted scene, and as opposed to just kind of dropping, he kind of retches and then throws his head back. And I was like, wait a second.
I always want to know why in movies people die on cue, basically.
Yeah.
It's like you want like Mad Mardigan saying something, and Eric just goes, like he's not even done. He's like, oh no!
Let me tell you one more thing. I need to tell you. Oh no, wait. They either die before they get information out, or they die on cue. It's never. Have you seen the movie Role Models with Sean William Scott?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, there's a scene where at the end, him, Paul Rudd, and McLovin and some other kid, they join this LARPing tournament where they become the Knights of Kiss, where they all dress up like Kiss. And one of the kids gets stabbed, and they're like, well, you have to play dead after you get hit when you're, live action role playing. And the kid just goes, like he just does like the most outrageous death thing, like, and then he falls down with one leg up in the air. And that's the bad. When you're watching Willow, you shouldn't think about a scene from Role Models, and that's exactly what I did while watching it.
So I think there's an important part of this movie that we haven't chatted about yet.
Ooh,
the brownies.
Oh my gosh. What? All right, so you know what I do love is during the commentary they said that they built oversized sets for them.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They weren't even there. They like already filmed the movie, then they like put them into the movie. Like, all right, guys, imagine there's a giant person standing next to you. What do you do?
Tonally, they have zero reason to be there, right?
So that's a good question. I was thinking about that. What I came up with is I think that brownies have an innate ability to find locations, and that's why they're the guides. That's why they were there, because they were able to guide Eric to Terrasley without ever being there, and then they made several comments about knowing how to get to locations.
Oh, you're right. And they can also control hawks.
But that never comes into play after that first one, right? What? So, like, I was like, why didn't you just fly the hawk around, guys? You don't need to, like, walk on the ground.
I gotta tell you something, David. If I could use hawks to fly, I would never touch the land.
Well, how many hawks are you talking?
Well, I'm like a giant one from Hobbit. I would just cruise around on it.
Okay. I thought you would have like 50 hawks flying you around. Do you have like a hawk harness?
Are you saying like two African swallows with the string?
Yeah, and they just lift you up and you just hold on and they just flap you around.
But yeah, so I mean, all right. When I was a kid, I never minded the brownies, but now I still don't mind them. But are they using French accents?
Maybe. I mean, one's name's Frangine, so that's a good point. They definitely have like a weird accent.
Yeah, there's Rule and Kevin Pollak is one of them.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? You've really grown.
I mean, so I don't know. All right, do you have any more?
I do. The physics. Okay. Yeah. The physics of brownies makes no sense, right? So, like, how fast can they run to keep up with people?
Yeah, you're right.
They just magically appear all the time. But the thing that made me go, there's 2 points where I was like, what's going on with these brownies? One is, how many brownies did it take to dig that ditch that they fell into? They would have to dig that for years if they're only digging like a normal person, have like a spoonful.
Yeah, is that their version of a pit?
It has to be. Throw them in the pit. But also think about like it was covered up. They got to recover it now. You know how hard that's going to be for the brownies?
Yeah, to grab one palm frond.
Got it across.
And then, have you ever seen, those little birds when they're on the ground, how fast they move? I'm thinking they're like them. And they just have really good cardio.
Yeah. They're good at long distance running. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Because they managed to catch up to them in the top of the mountain within like half a day.
Man, they're just running up mountains. They don't dress very warmly.
No. And then also, why do they have the love potion? Of all the things Cheryl Indria could have given them, they're like, here's a love potion from the fairies. It's like, this is the worst. You give Willow a magic wand, you give me some I don't know, fairy Viagra? Like, what's going on here?
And then I guess because they had to hit Val Kilmer with it, and then you're right. Because he fell in love with a cat.
Yeah, but Val Kilmer fell in love with not the first thing he saw, like the third or fourth thing he saw.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he didn't get that much.
Yeah, it's weird if you think about that part too much.
Now, all right. Now, one cool thing is one of my dreams in life is to fall into a bucket of like a vat of whiskey. One of these brownies fell into a vat of beer. How amazing would that be?
I think it would be amazing for the first. It'd be amazing as long as it's cold.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. When I was 20, it would be amazing. Now when I'm 36, it would be cool for about 8 seconds.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm gonna drink some beer. Then you're like, oh no, I gotta piss. I can't piss in my beer.
I'm tired.
Yeah. Good thing I'm a Boy Scout and I know how to make a turn your jeans into like a floating device. It's super easy, actually.
Really?
Yeah, you just tie your pants legs in a knot and use your belt to tie the front, and you like float over your head to fill it with water after it's wet, and then tie it, and you can float. I mean, you're gonna have to redo it every now and then, but it works.
Oh wow. Well, how about this? I'm gonna go recreate that right now, and when we come back, we'll talk more Willow. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks, and I am currently recording from a vat of whiskey, so thank you for that advice.
I'm really happy for you. Yeah. Are you gonna get like a beer to go with it, a chaser?
Yeah, I got that. It's gonna go downhill quickly. I just want you to know.
Yeah, that sounds great, but at least it's not Sambuca, so I think you're doing good.
That'd be an interesting thing to be some Grand Marnier.
It would be so viscous.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, thank you.
It'd stain your skin.
Okay, come out. Ooh, oh man, that would go in through my pores. I better get out of here, guys. I'm gonna make my way while I'm talking. I've gotten that good at it. Hey, you wanna know something cool about this movie? Joe Johnston did some of the second unit on it. The guy who directed Rocketeer.
Oh, I love the Rocketeer.
And Captain America, First Avenger. He did some of the second unit.
I didn't realize he had directed Captain America: The First Avenger.
And did you know that Val Kilmer, during a scene, they were hanging out, and normally on set they normally say rolling, camera set, and then a few seconds, and they go action. Sorry if you've been there before, guys. I'm not trying to explain it. But on this, they didn't do that, and they just yelled action. So Val took his cigarette. He was smoking a cigarette. He flicked it backwards, and it went in somebody's dress.
That sounds like a very Val Kilmer thing.
Yeah, and you just flicked it in there. But I gotta tell you, man, this movie really did. I know the books, The Lord of the Rings, came through, but a lot of their walking on their quest, it really did remind me of what they did later on in Lord of the Rings, because they did film in New Zealand and England.
Yeah, I had the same thought process behind it, and I think it's pretty obvious that Lucas cribbed from The Hobbit, and that's not a bad thing. But he did, because at that point they hadn't had a live action. They had two animated ones.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta tell you, man, everyone cribs from each other.
That's how creativity works.
Yeah. I mean, when I was young, Tarantino's brilliant at it, but I thought I was like, he is the most original voice in cinema. But then I started learning more about cinema, and I was like, oh, he loves cinema, and he used those aspects to make his great films.
Yeah.
I mean, look at, like, what, Seven Samurai Lucas loved, right? To make a space western. Right? Didn't they call...
Yeah.
And
here's a question about that.
Yeah.
Is Star Wars a fantasy or is it a sci-fi?
Oh, fantasy?
I lean towards fantasy as well.
Because isn't science fiction movies like maybe Moon or Blade Runner, where they recreate and clone using science, right? Does someone call Star Wars a science fiction?
I've definitely seen it called that, but I always think of it as fantasy.
Because there's
space magic.
Yeah, and there's aliens, and there's, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's a right answer. It's a hybrid of both, but I always lean towards fantasy.
Oh man, so don't get me started. So I don't know. In 2015, I did all this research about the best horror films of 2015, of the 21st century, and a bunch of people shared it, and a lot of people liked it. But a lot of people were coming up to me, and they're like, so I put Pan's Labyrinth as a horror film. And a lot of people came up to me and they said, Pan's Labyrinth is not a horror film. It is a dark fantasy, something with violence. I'm like, well, isn't that a horror movie? So I guess you could argue back and forth all day about these things, couldn't you?
Yes. And I do regularly in my podcast.
Oh, yeah?
We argued about whether Silence of the Lambs was a horror movie or a thriller, and I came down with saying that Silence of the Lambs is a thriller, so the structure of it's a thriller with horror elements. But in the reality, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you enjoy the movie, like the classifications are just there to help you find stuff.
I would chuck it into horror just to give horror a boost. Does that mean that's a horror movie? Oh yeah, it's one of the greats.
Yeah, screw thrillers. There's plenty of good thrillers.
I look at thrillers as like, there's like a couple being, what's that, Lakeview Terrace with Patrick Wilson and then Sam Jackson's harassing him? That's the way I look at a thriller.
I think so.
Yeah, Lakeview Terrace. Of all the thrillers to pull, I pull that one.
Yeah, it's a little obscure there.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be like Rear Window or North by Northwest. And you're like, all right, let's see where this goes.
Hey, what's that classic movie, that thriller? Swim Fan.
I saw that in the theater.
I didn't watch it for years. I got some bits on that. I won't, because we're doing a podcast coming up. I was tempted to do it for my 200th episode, and my wife Megan talked me out of it, so we're not going to do that. But I kind of, in this movie, if you're a fan of this film, you should definitely get the Blu-ray, because the commentary is really good. I loved hearing about the styrofoam snowball from Val. I loved, how he talked about the oversized sets, and then I love how. Remember when he told the story about when Warwick went out ice skating with his 10 friends and they formed a human chain of 10 people and one of the guys got slammed into a wall?
Yeah, that was really good. And then they got banned from skating anymore. Producer's like, nope.
And I loved just the talk of the Rottweilers wearing the first suits, all the matte paintings. And also another thing that I really like this movie for is there's a lot of extras in it. I like the battles. I feel like the battles had some weight to them. And when the army marches by, I felt like it was an army.
Yeah. I didn't realize this, but this was a very special effects driven movie for the time period.
First
and
people to
watching
use,
today, it still is. Like that scene where she's morphing from animal to animal at the end, it's like, what? That's still probably really difficult to pull off.
That was the first time. So there's a guy from ILM. There's an interview. I wish I would have written his name down. In Industrial Light and Magic, they said it was one of the first time morphine had been done. So I pulled this thing where he said the way things had been built up till that time, if a character had to change at some way from a dog into a person or something like that, it could be done with a series of mechanical props. You had to cut away to a person watching it, then cut back to another prop, which is pushing the ears out. For example, so it didn't look fake. We shot 5 different pieces of film of a goat, an ostrich, a tiger, a tortoise, and a woman, and had one actually change into the shape of the other without one having to cut away. So technique is much more realistic because the cuts are done for dramatic reasons rather than to stop it from looking bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So like in 77, you and I are in, the werewolf from Quebec, and you're turning into a werewolf. It's like, what, a shot of you, then a shot of me, then a shot of you. And this morphine just allowed it to be a really cool thing.
Yeah, and I like that they built up to it. They showed him, they did cut away a little smaller, a little bit bigger, then all of a sudden it's like, here's everything we got. Boom, you're a lion, you're a tiger, ostrich?
Yeah, ostrich. Yep, ostrich. And a tortoise. Now, before I forget, because I forget things very easily because we pinball all over the place. She tells Willow to get one of the goblins, right? When they're at the battle in the castle. She tells him to use the wand on the goblin. He hits the goblin, not in the butt yet. He pokes the goblin in the butt later. But so he turns a goblin into a 2-headed dragon. How?
I think he didn't know what he was doing. I think he was trying and just, it's a super powerful wand and he screwed up. He was just like, dragon, oh no!
Of all the things, and you know what though? I love how the armies battled that dragon because they kept their distance from it and just peppered it with arrows.
Yeah, it was like stuck in the water. I thought like it was like a water dragon. When I was little, I don't know if that makes sense now that I'm an adult. But when I was little, I was like, oh, I guess it just stays in the water now. It doesn't come out of it.
Because remember it was a blob shape? Did it have legs? Because I just watched it, but I don't remember it having legs. I
don't think it had legs. I think he just kicked it into the water off the bridge, and then it grew and started eating people.
So it was just some funky, weird, messed up dragon that he made.
Yeah.
That Mad Morgan stabs through the head.
Oh, it's so awesome. He's so awesome in all those scenes.
Dude,
that you finally see him, you're like, oh, this is great.
And Sorcer's like, yo, this guy.
This guy, he's mine. She turned so quick, and there was no one else even second guessed her. They're like, yeah, she's with us now. You think Eric would have been like, are you sure? My men just died to her men.
And also, there's a scene where Willow goes to this bar and he finds Val Kilmer dressed as a woman because he's sleeping with another woman and they don't want the husband to find out. But when that husband finds out that Val Kilmer isn't a woman, he wrecks some people.
Say hello to Lug.
Yeah, Lug, he punches one of the guards so hard I felt it. And that happens so in cinema, in Bloodsport, not in Bloodsport, in Kickboxer, when he's drunk dancing and he beats up those bar patrons, I felt it. In the movie Steel Dawn, there's Patrick Swayze gets punched once, I felt it. And then in this movie, when Lug hits one of those guards, I was like, oh my gosh, Lug is a Lug.
Yeah, that was a really funny scene.
What did you think about the wagon chase?
That scene was really, really good. I enjoyed it. That's really the first action bit of the entire movie, right? Like there's sort of running away at the beginning, but that's like the first action set piece. The one thing that I was like, what's going on here is when they had a throwing star. Just one single throwing star. You're like, you don't have more? You just carry one around with you?
I have ninja stars capitalized in my notes.
Yeah,
and also they have muskrats in this world.
Where are they on like Pangea? Because there's animals from everywhere.
They know the names of everything, right? So is it like Earth and then everyone forgot about magic?
I guess. I just always think I was laughing at. They're like, oh, we got a tiger and a turtle and a lion and a muskrat, and they called one of them a possum, but I was like, that's not an American possum. What is this thing?
I always hate that movie. Or he called the brownies rodents.
Oh.
You know those movies I don't like when you're like, let's say you're looking at something and it's obviously a possum, right? Everyone knows it's a possum, and then they go, "Oh, get that muskrat away from me." I'm like, "But you know it's a possum." Are you trying to prove a point? Are you insulting this thing?
First, it's an opossum.
Oh yeah, a possum, an opossum. But what else I love is I don't know if I've told you this, but I love catapults in movies. So Kingdom of Heaven. I love in Timeline, they say the word trebuchet 50 times. I love a good catapult bit, and Willow has one of the top 5 catapult bits of all time.
I love that he hits the wall so hard.
Yes. He's like, if it was a cartoon, he would have been completely flattened into it.
He loves his sword.
But I like that this movie doesn't sugarcoat the dangers of catapults.
Yeah. I was laughing at that.
I mean, he hits hard.
What used to scare me when I was little were the trolls.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were crawling underneath the bridge, and, I mean, yeah, they were gnarly little guys.
I'd watch it with my hands over my eyes because they scared me so much. Oh, no, trolls. I hate trolls.
And everyone keeps saying they hate trolls in this movie. Yeah.
But they seem more like a nuisance than, like truly evil.
Yeah, this troll, Mad Mardigan yells at a troll, and the troll gets frightened. So basically, these trolls are living in a place. It's theirs, right? And then people come in and attack it, and they're trying to defend their home, and they basically just get wiped out. It's like you and I, it's like you're in your apartment, and a battle takes place in your apartment, and you get wiped out.
Yep. And pretty easily, too, because they didn't get a chance.
And why does that troll poop out in the open? I figure they probably they seem smart enough to, like, go somewhere else, not right in the middle of their domicile.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're, like, slightly smarter than dogs.
Maybe the trolls got into some mead.
So the other question is with trolls, why did that one stick its butt towards Willow? Because that makes no sense in the film. He's like fighting him, and then the troll just jumps backwards, like, here's my butt.
and then he stabs it. He's like, woo.
That was probably the director. Like, we can't really have Willow kill someone, but he can stab him in the butt. That's funny.
They want to have some comedy bits. Oh, and at the end, right? So we have the massive fist fight. We have more holes in this movie. I mean, people are always digging pits in these films. So Willow's like, hey, the muskrats dig holes, and then they attack. They get in the castle. But during the final fight, Bathmorda, does the lightning hit her on purpose, or is that by chance?
I think she accidentally set off her own spell.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I think happened.
Oh, she knocked the blood over and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was pretty gangster, though, when he throws that acorn and she catches it and she reverses it.
I know. When I first saw it, I was like, yeah, Willow, they're finally here. Here's the thing about the acorn. Why stone? If it's an acorn, you would think it'd be wood.
It's a great point. Too obvious?
I don't know. Like, it's just weird. You're like, oh, I'm going to turn you to stone. You would use a rock to turn someone into stone. You wouldn't use an acorn. You use an acorn to throw someone or turn someone into a tree. And if it was a willow tree, it would be more thematic.
But here's the deal, though. when he dropped the acorn onto that wood during the movie, you wouldn't have seen anything. So I guess the stone.
That's very true. Just, oh no, it's a different type of wood.
Oh no, it's oak now. I'm not really happy with my floor. I'm just gonna drop an acorn on it. I need some new flooring.
I love the wizard he's just like constantly bad too. He's like, don't follow the bird, follow the river.
I love that scene. That guy's like, he's going back to the village, and then I don't do it. So was he magical?
Yeah, he had some powers. It just sort of felt like everyone in the universe was not great at anything. You know what I mean? Like they all like they always like kind of screwed up a little bit.
And like if you think about it, they kidnap all these people, and then they just leave the baby alone, and they just let her run out of a side door and escape. You're right. Everybody in this world is bad at a few things.
Yeah. So when they capture Willow, they just leave him with his wand. Like, why would you do that?
And Finn Rizal gets turned into a muskrat and put on an island. It seemed like it was done easily, right? By Bath Morda. So then why would Finn Rizal be a match for Bath Morda?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. And then they were fighting, and she's like, "Oh, your power of Bro." And she's like, "Well, I have oh my God, what's her name? Sherlindriel's."
Oh, wand. That's what it is.
But why didn't just the wizard, the fairy fight Bath Morda? Like, if she was so powerful, she just stuck in the forest? That's never explained.
Why didn't the hawk fly? Oh, because they needed someone with magic to turn her back into an animal. So then they needed Warwick to go, right?
Yeah, they needed Warwick to get Finn Rizal. So Finn Rizal could use the wand because she was a better sorceress. But why didn't the fairy just do it instead? It was her wand.
Did the people in the castle not notice them digging holes all night? I love this movie, by the way. So
I do. I love this movie too. I thought the same thing.
I'm not poking holes. Like, so for me, like, you know all my data. I think for me, I kind of I pick up the weirdest little things in movies. And so obviously they didn't hear it. Maybe they thought they're all pigs, so they just kind of turned away. But that's some pretty. So that left. Wait. Like 4 of them to dig all those holes.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the brownies have some super tech that they use because they could dig that hole at the beginning. So they taught them how to do it at the end. But my serious answer is I think they used the collapsed tents to dig under the tents.
Oh.
And then they
you're right.
Sent like half of their army away to make it look like they left.
That's a great man. You nailed that. All right, perfect. All right, cool. You made my cheeky comment irrelevant, and I appreciate that.
But it's a good point. Like, how do they? Like, also, like they're like the wizards are there, right? They're like, it's like, go kill the wizards. You don't send people out to kill the wizards. You just fire arrows at them. Right? Yeah. Like that's the first thing I thought. I was like, waste some arrows. You can go get them later.
Yeah, are they gonna block these arrows?
They can't do it in forever, right?
I feel like Bath Morda though, she has a lot of hubris.
Yeah.
You know, I think these guys, her army seems to be just wrecking shop. Because everyone else is, I remember when Kale is escaping the dragon lair with the baby. Oh, dude, when Willow comes out crying about how he couldn't save the baby, come on, man. That's an epic.
Yeah. Warwick Davis did really well in this movie.
That scene, man, I was watching it again and it got me.
It got me too.
It got me good. What a great scene.
There's like blood on him. He's falling over.
But then Kale runs out, right? He runs through an entire regiment of cavalry, just smashing people with a baby in his hand. So everybody else's army is not good.
No, maybe he's just the army.
Yeah. So, so I think maybe they just got used to being bullies, and then they were just like, whatever, just go get them. Who cares, right?
I've had my vitamins today. I'm Kale.
Because he ran through. I wrote in all caps. Where did I put it? I was like, yeah, he just ran through everybody.
Yeah, right? It wasn't even a challenge.
He like, yeah. I don't know. Oh, okay. So we have a quest team to put together in our favorite monsters, but I want to end on something very important. Unless you have something more.
No. What is
that scene where they're on top of a mountain and they sled down together. So it's Warwick, the baby. It's Willow, Mad Mardigan, and the baby. During that scene, there is a guard that face plants. So if you have Willow, go to that scene where they're escaping down. And while that scene in the tents, there's a guy that falls flat on his face. And during the commentary, Willow goes, and he falls on his face. And some guy in the left hand, deep in the screen, just goes flap right on the ground. So I think George Lucas produced movies or directed movies are the kings of, stormtroopers walking into things, guys flopping on the ground. But they left the sound effect in there. Did you not see that?
I didn't see it the first time through. I saw it when I watched the commentary and they had to point it out. And I was like, oh, this is amazing.
He falls right on his face. Yeah. He wipes out. But it feels real, right?
Everything about this movie feels real. They're just like, even the magic feels real.
Yeah, I love it. All right. So we put together a quest team, right? So basically, like Willow goes on a quest, we put together people that we would love to quest with, correct?
Yeah. I threw a little wrinkle into this for mine.
Ooh.
I wanted to look up an adventuring party that had a fighter, a wizard, a rogue, a thief, and a bard.
Oh my gosh. So
yeah.
Oh wow. All right. So I just kind of put together a weird one, but it'll be good. So do you want to go first?
Yeah. So for my fighter spots, the tank of the group, I have Prince Colwyn from Kroll.
Yeah.
Mostly because he has that crazy thing he throws around.
Oh man, that's all he does is quest.
I almost picked Conan, but then I was like, Conan wouldn't get along with anyone.
No, he'd be a brat. He'd eat all the food. I wouldn't want to deal with him. All right, so for me, the first one I got is Hermione from Harry Potter, because in the Deathly Hallows Part 1, she has that tent that's like basically a mansion, and it's invisible. So while we're questing, she could just bust out some invisibility at night, and we could just chill out in like a mansion.
She's also the most capable wizard in that series, maybe other than Dumbledore.
I mean, that pad that they stay in is sweet. Ron's all grumpy. Harry's all whining. I just like, and she's the strong one, and she makes everything invisible.
Yeah, she's an excellent choice. If everyone asks you what character from Harry Potter you want to be, you pick Hermione.
Yeah, that's right.
So my second one is a wizard.
Ooh. And
I picked Ulrich from Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slayer? What's that movie?
It came out in early 80s, I think 81. And it's about an apprentice wizard who has to go fight a dragon. And Ulrich is his mentor who ends up actually fighting the dragon. And it's pretty awesome. 100% look this movie up.
Okay. Is it Rutger Hauer?
I think it's No, I don't think Rutger Hauer's in it. It might be. I haven't seen it in a long time. It's one of the guys from the second Ghostbusters. The Vigo.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, not Vigo, but the painter, the curator. He's in it. He's very young in it.
Got it. So it's. All right, I need to watch this. Why does it sound like a Rutger Hauer movie to me?
It does. Well, he was in Lady Hawk.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah.
Which is also fantastic.
All right, where am I going to go next? All right, I'm going to pick a really weird one here, and I'm going to go with the monkey from Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh.
Have you seen that movie?
No, but it's a really good pick because your adventure party always has to have an animal.
And it's Charlize Theron voiced, and she's this monkey that leads Kubo on this epic journey being chased by these crazy evil people, and Monkey's just a badass.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a really good one. I
had a monkey. Who you got?
I have Inigo Montoya in the rogue role.
Yes. I love that.
He's a rogue, right?
Yeah.
I was like, is he a rogue? He's definitely a rogue.
That's perfect. I mean, I love that scene, right? Where he's just waiting for the Dread Pirate Roberts to climb up the mountain, and he's just waiting for him.
Switching to my right hand. Me too. What?
Oh man. And he's revenge driven. He travels long ways. He has a good heart, but he's a legit warrior. Good hair. Mandy Patinkin. I like it. You know what? So I had Fezzik from Princess Bride, so I'm going to take him out of this. Okay. Because we don't want two Princess Briders.
Yeah.
All right. So this one's weird, but I just put Tom Hardy from Mad Max, not the Mel Gibson one. Because how much does he survive on his journeys? He's
everything.
He's basically a cockroach.
Well, that's if you believe that he's the same character. There's a theory that every movie is a standalone movie and that Mad Max is like Zelda or Link, where it's just who he is. It's like different periods and you're always just having a Mad Max.
Well, I guess I'll go with this guy because he loses a lot of blood and then he's not woozy and he doesn't need a sandwich.
Yeah, he's pretty strong. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
All right, go.
This is
Oh, sorry, go for
weird
it.
one.
He's the what?
Really weird one.
Yeah, I
A
mean,
really weird one.
that's what you want, right? You kind of want the sullen one so you don't have to deal with conversing with everybody.
Yeah.
All right, who you got next?
Beef roll.
Who?
I have Will Scarlet from Robin Hood.
Ooh, which one?
The one, and this is Slater.
Yes.
With the knives.
have some Christian Slater in this movie? Oh, I love it. And he's a thief?
Well, they're all thieves because
Oh,
they're part
yeah,
of Robin
you're
Hood.
right. They're the Oh, that's funny. That's a random poll right there. I like it. How'd you come up with that one?
Well, I was looking for fantasy movies, and then I was struggling with the thief and the bard, frankly. And I just typed in fantasy thieves, and he came up, and I was like, "Oh, I've seen that movie. I like that character. Put him in."
I mean, he catches an arrow through the hand, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does at the end.
And then he's fine.
Yeah, I think they capture him at one point. And they have to go save him.
Yeah, and then he gets out of that, and he fights till the end. And it's Christian Slater. He's great.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. That's a movie smells of flicks pick right there. That's a deep pull. All right,
What do you have?
All right, I'm gonna pick. This is really random, but I'm gonna go with Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, she's so good.
Yeah, because like she goes on a journey. She gets stuck on a planet, right? And she's the typical quester because she's on her own because all of her entire army gets wiped out. Then she goes back to Asgard, fights that entire battle. I just think you could journey with her. And she's kind of like the drunk. She could maybe be the leader. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know if she'd be the
Yeah,
leader.
I think it's a really good pick.
So I think she'd just be fun to have around. So I'm picking her.
Okay.
All right. Who you got?
For my bard spot, this was really, really hard. Really hard. I picked Geoffrey Chaucer from A Knight's Tale.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. He already made the team.
But I have an alt pick just because I couldn't decide really well. And that is Tenacious D as a combo because they are bards 100%.
Oh, the pick of destiny too. They go on a journey.
Yeah.
They've battled the devil.
And they won.
Yeah. And the greatest song they can't remember. I love it. So my last one is Forrest Gump.
What?
Because, all right, Vietnam, he just runs. He's a football player. He runs. He runs across country. I mean, he makes journeys. He becomes great at ping pong. Like, he couldn't get tired. He would just keep going, right?
Yes. But you would need someone to direct him.
Yeah. And if no one told him to stop, he would just keep running. But think about this. You're under attack, right? We're on our quest and we're under attack. And we're just like, Forrest, run to Rome and tell them we're under attack. He would just run to Rome. He wouldn't stop.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you later.
Yep. And then he would get there and he would bring people back, or he'd forget to.
He would remember.
Yeah.
He that's actually a fun pick.
All right. So because he survives everything too. I mean, he survived through Vietnam. I mean, he's good. All right. So who do you want to do? Who are 5 we're gonna send on this mission? We got to send the bard Geoffrey Chaucer from A Knight's Tale.
Okay. I was trying to think of which one of mine I think is the weakest. I think Will Scarlet is definitely the weakest.
Okay, I'll take him out.
Okay.
All right. So I'll take out Valkyrie. She's cool, but I'll take out Valkyrie and Tom Hardy. Sorry if you don't like. Or are you against that?
I think Valkyrie would be a necessity in any quest.
Okay.
She is so strong. She's basically a superhuman.
Yeah.
So she would be a fighter.
All right. So we'll keep Valkyrie. All right. So if we have Valkyrie, and we have Chaucer from Knight's Tale.
Okay. I would make an argument for Hermione because she is a fantastic wizard.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean she would keep it together. Like Chaucer doesn't think long term. Valkyrie doesn't think long term. All right, and then so let's add Inigo Montoya.
Okay.
Because
that's a good.
I think he's just a good right hand man. Like he would be loyal. I think he would be loyal to Hermione. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, he would just. I think he'd get her back. He's a good fighter.
Yeah.
And he's fun. Good conversations. All right, so we have one person left. Who are we gonna do here? We have the Ulrich, we have Prince Cohen from Krull, we have Forrest Gump, we have Monkey.
So my heart wants to go with the monkey. So we have an animal sidekick.
Yeah, you kind of need that, don't you?
I mean, you kind of need an animal sidekick to lighten the load, to make you laugh.
And also, we got to have Monkey because more people need to see Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is a sweet team. We've come up with 2 sweet teams in a row.
I'm interested to see how Chaucer's gonna do fighting these mythical creatures we're about to introduce.
Ah, man. All right, so Chaucer, man, Hermione, would Hermione like? I think Valkyria would like Chaucer because they would party together.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Monkey would hang out with Hermione when Inigo and Valkyrie and the bard are drinking.
Yeah. I mean, Hermione is the brains of this operation. She's the brains of every operation, but now she is the leader and the brains of the operation.
And I guess if people needed to stay around, probably Inigo and Monkey would stay to plan while Bard and Valkyrie are just running around.
Yeah, I think so.
And
this is a weird list. It's so weird. I love it.
I love this. I'm very happy with this, though. I'm looking at it smiling. All right, so, and also, you came up with a great idea. This movie, growing up, you have the trolls, you have the little brownies, you have the two-headed dragons, and you kind of asked me what are my favorite cinematic monsters, right?
Yeah, I wanted to know, like, what mythical creatures scare you?
So, all right. Now, I'm not joking here. Obviously, it doesn't now, but when I was 9, it was the troll from Ernest Scared Stupid.
That scared me a lot.
That troll I've talked about this a lot, but that troll had no pattern. It just wanted kids. It didn't matter which kid. If it missed one kid, it would go get the other kid. Like, it didn't care. It wasn't on Elm Street. It didn't have to hang out in the park. It just went wherever it could.
Yeah,
it didn't have rules.
That is terrifying to know that it's just going to do whatever it wants. And that's a terrifying movie, period. As a little kid, you're watching that when you're like 10 or 9, and it's really scary. It's probably pretty scary now, honestly.
I was a nervous wreck after watching it.
Yeah, we talked about this on the last episode as well, and I'm really happy because I feel like no one knows about this movie, but I was like, I was traumatized by it.
I mean, like, it had no pattern. No, none. And it changed its voice, and it went under your bed. Kids should never watch horror movies where something's under the bed.
Yeah, for a long time after I watched Child's Play, I was incredibly scared, and I had my buddy that my great grandmother had given to me, and I immediately came home and I chucked it down the basement steps, and I was like, I'm never playing with this thing. But then the problem is that then I had to go down the stairs, and I was like, oh no, it's gonna cut the back of my ankles.
Yeah, your Achilles are done. Which mythical creatures got you?
So the mythical creature that really scares me is the Wendigo.
Which one's that?
So it is a person who eats the flesh of another person and basically turns into a shape-shifting cannibal. So they turn into like a wolf. And what scares me about it is that you have the brains of a human and the body of a really powerful animal. And they are going to trick you into like coming outside and then going to eat you.
Is that Ravenous?
That's yes, it does have a Wendigo in that.
We're talking about that movie eventually, right? After Airborne.
Yeah, absolutely. But I had a close second.
All right, let's hear it.
The Sphinx. I feel like the Sphinx is downplayed a lot, but it has a lion's body, human's brains, can fly around. Like, that would be a terrifying animal to have to fight.
Yeah, it's just air, land. You're done.
Yeah. It's going to be smarter than you, too.
I had a tiny bird attack me once while I was running. And so I was running, and this thing hit the back of my head. And then it hit the back of my head again, and the neighbor was laughing at me when I was running by. And then I felt my head later on in the day, and those little tiny talons from a little tiny bird got me cut open. So imagine what a Sphinx would do.
You can't punch a tiny bird.
Yeah. If a Sphinx comes at you, you're done. Now, I know it's not a mythical creature, but I added I know it's different, but the crawlers from The Descent.
Oh, that movie's terrifying.
And so, I was going to add the Rancor. The Rancor's terrifying until you see the Rancor trainer crying, and then that breaks your heart. The Graboids, there's just too many ways to kind of get around them. But the crawlers, Neil Marshall, the director in that movie, the direction for him during the fight scenes were to the stuntmen playing the crawlers, the actors playing the crawlers were go for the actress's neck. And they told the actress, don't let it get to your neck. So in these fight scenes, they're really primal. And these things are just, they don't want to mess around. They don't want to wrestle with you. They don't want to kidnap you. They want to rip your throat open and then eat you. Like like when I saw that for the first time, those creatures were so primal that it just got me.
Yeah. I watched that movie once and I have refused to watch it again, even though I think it's a fantastic film. I had nightmares for weeks.
They're just, all right. So as much as I think there are some monsters that are elegant, right? That have been created. I had one in my mind, but I forgot. Just like this elegant, like monster killing machine. But these things are just, they slip and they fall and they don't know how to fist fight, but they just want to go for your neck. There's something really scary about that. You know what I mean?
They're overwhelming. It's like the idea that if there was one of them, you could beat them, but there's 20 of them and there's no way.
And just be the worst death because they're just scratching at you.
Oh, yeah. So I also wrote down an animal that I think that I could 100% beat in a fight.
Which one?
A jackalope.
What's a jackalope?
It's a jackrabbit with antelope horns.
Man, I'd be terrified.
They're so small. I figured I could kick it before it gored me.
Just get some work boots. But I tell you what, though, rabbits have been pretty evil in cinema.
Yeah.
What if it's like the Monty Python rabbit?
Well, then I'm dead.
Run away!
It's going to happen.
Before I forget, The Descent, if you have the DVD, you can watch it or Blu-ray. But online on YouTube, they have the making of The Descent. It's a 4-part documentary that they have on YouTube. And they talk about the creation of all the sets inside studios in England. So obviously they couldn't go into caves to shoot the movie. But they built all those sets in stages in England. So the production design's brilliant in that film.
Yeah. There's a reason it's a top 10 horror movie.
Man, now you got me think about evil rabbits.
There's a movie coming out with a guy from Hereditary with rabbits in it, so you can see some of those. And Us had rabbits in it.
Yep.
There's a rabbits horror movie.
Jeez, and Shea Serrano of The Ringer wrote a post about evil rabbits. I need to go back and read that thing. They're always a pain in the butt. Jeez. All right, so any other things you want to touch on about Willow before we get out of here?
No, other than I absolutely love this movie and you should go watch it right now. I'm
glad we got to talk about it because this movie, I've been watching this for like the last month or so. We've been planning on this, so I've watched it multiple times, and I'm finally glad that we got to get it out of us.
Yeah, I was cheering on my couch. This is not a joke. And like what's crazy is like I watch a lot of movies for just because I enjoy it, but also because I have another podcast. So I'm like watching movies for that, and then I'm watching movies on my own. And I've gotten to this phase where I'm feeling very sort of blah about film. And I watched this movie, and I was like, yeah, this is why I like movies. Oh, I remember now.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. When you watch so many movies, that's why it's kind of cool when you see one that you just really embrace, right?
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of them. Hey, do you want to promote your pod before we get out of here?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So I co-host Award Wieners. It is a podcast about Oscar-winning movies and hot dogs. What we're doing is going through every best winner picture. So there's 91 of them, and we have around 43. The next one is going to be Green Book, coming out in about 2 weeks.
Is Green Book – I haven't watched it yet. Is Green Book as bad as everyone says?
I really dislike that film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I greatly dislike that film. I'm going to couch that and say that Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali are great actors, and if they weren't in that film, I think it would have tanked.
So all right, lesson learned. If you have a subpar movie, cast those two guys because they'll make anything good.
Well, it's a movie that was systematically designed to win a Best Picture. It's a historical movie with great actors about a real story, real event, with a social commentary. Like a committee was sitting around, they're like, yeah, this movie's going to get us some Best Picture nod, and then they made it.
I got it. Yeah, so I haven't watched it yet. I just haven't gotten around to it because I've been working on other articles. But also, I guess before we go, if you type in Mark Hoffman or Rotten Tomatoes, by the time this podcast comes out, I'll have 2 articles up about the DC universe and Game of Thrones universe. So make sure to read those and share them. You'll like them. And I also have one coming out before Avengers Infinity War about the Marvel world. So I got to write about Game of Thrones, Marvel, and DC this month.
You're living the life, man.
Living the dream. And watching Willow and talking Willow. And I get to edit this pod and listen to more Willow. I mean, life doesn't get better than that, right?
No, not at all.
That's awesome. So we're going to do, we don't know when yet, but we're going to do Airborne for our next movie, correct?
Yeah, Airborne. And just so everyone knows, I am from Cincinnati, and I am going to pick this movie apart. I also love it.
I can't, this sounds weird. I'm a little worried to watch it again because in my head, I envision that race at the end just seeming epic.
It's an epic scene. It 100% is. Here's the thing. It takes place like all over Cincinnati in like 20 different locations. There is no Devil's Backbone in Cincinnati.
So do you think it's Dimension 13, Cincinnati?
You're going through portals? How many portals does it take to get down Devil's Backbone? That's the question you need to answer.
Oh, that's fun. Let's look into that. All right, cool. Hey, so this was a lot of fun. So thank you. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for David Cross, this is Movies from the Flicks. See you next week.